Welcome back to our channel. Today we are making a really delicious, what would you call it? It's a barbecue treat. I'll let you
This is
tell me.
something that quite a few years ago my brother-in-law was in the Navy, and he and his friends made some of these up just
On the fly.
on the fly anyway, and they turned out pretty good. So when he get home, he showed us how to make them, and they're delicious.
They are definitely a favorite. They are requested always, and we make them all the time. Everyone who has had them absolutely loves them. You may have had them before, I don't know. But we're going to make them today, and Joe is going to walk you through all of these steps. He'll just kind of tell you what we're going to be doing, how we're going to put them together, and then you can watch us do that.
Okay, the ingredients we're going to need for these are boneless chicken tenders, bacon, any kind of bacon you want, any flavor. We're using maple bacon, that's one of my favorite. You're going to need cream cheese. I don't know if you need 1 or 2 boxes, depending on how many you want to make. Bottled pepperoncini peppers. Again, I don't know how many you're going to make, but 1 or 2 bottles. First of all, we're going to marinate toothpicks. Grab a handful and throw them in a glass of water to soak for a while. We're going to start taking the tops off the peppers and getting the seeds out of them.
This is the part that I don't like, trying to get the seeds out of them.
You have to mess with them a little bit, but it's not a big thing. And they don't all need to come out either. You can take some of them out or leave some of them in. They're not going to hurt anything.
Just want to make sure that you are leaving this pepperoncini, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. You're leaving it whole. You're just taking the top off to remove what's inside, but it is whole.
Now, as I'm taking the tops out of these and the seeds out of them, Julie will stuff them with cream cheese.
I have a package of cream cheese that we used for something else, so I'm just going to use up some of that.
You can either grill these or bake them. The grilling gives them a lot more flavor, and they just seem to taste better. We have baked them in the winter when we can't get our grill out, and they're good that way too.
Just gonna get a little piece, a little dollop with a little spoon, dollop of cream cheese. Cold cream cheese is easiest to work with, and find one this will fit into. Just kind of stuff that in. Hands are the best tool in the kitchen. I say that often. Just stuff that in there and fill that pepper.
Some of these are quite small and it'd be kind of tough, but I sometimes, when I'm filling them, I roll the cream cheese up.
Yeah, you can
Just skinny.
use it like Play-Doh. You kind of can roll them up into, see how it's just kind of a skinny form here, and then just stuff it down into that pepper. It'll go right in. This is by far, like I said, the worst part. It's just a lot of prep, but get everybody together. It's a lot of fun. It's a good way to visit with friends.
We've started an assembly line before making these.
We actually did these when we went on vacation, and some of the people that were with us had never had these before, so they were pleasantly surprised, and they go quick. And we have found in this family, whoever's grilling, because we are going to grill these, whoever is grilling, you have to kind of keep an eye on them, because usually the ones at the grill tending these are the ones eating them before they get in the house. That's what we have found. Now, pepperoncinis they have a little bit of heat. Not a lot of heat, The cream cheese cuts down on that.
Not much of a bite, really. I'm weaning her in here on the hot stuff, so.
Our kids think I'm terrible because they're just like, it is not hot. Those are not hot peppers. I don't know, maybe they're not. I don't know. Our youngest son says onions are hotter than these. Maybe.
Julie will feed these seeds and the insides of the pepper to the chickens. She read up and found out that they can eat the hot stuff, so they make good use of it.
The chickens turn these into eggs for us, and it's quite pleasant. What I'm doing here, just stuffing this in. We're just emptying one full bottle. We're not gonna make a whole lot. It's just him and I. So we're going to empty, I say bottle, jar of peppers.
You can always make these and before they're cooked, put them in the freezer. And then if you want them at a later date, just take them out and thaw them out and throw them on the grill or in the oven.
Or they can be made ahead of time if you aren't grilling that day, if you're making them ahead for a barbecue or a party or something. Get the whole production part done in advance. They'll hold in the refrigerator for a day or two.
Okay, our next step, I'm going to take the chicken tenders and I've got them on a cutting board with parchment paper over them, and we're going to pound these out, tenderize them and pound them out.
Okay, so now it's time to wrap these. So we're going to take one of these and we're going to wrap it in the chicken. And then I'm going to hand this to Joe. You want to wrap this in bacon, and he's going to take a toothpick and put it through it so it just holds it. And that's why you want to make sure that you soak these, because they are going on the grill. And you don't want them catching fire, so if you keep them nice and moist, they won't burn on the grill. You definitely don't want to do this on a high fire. So, and you can do these thinner than this. You can do them with smaller strips of chicken if you want to. You could wrap them in pork and bacon if you don't like chicken. My father-in-law doesn't like chicken. Not sure how that happens, but chicken is my meat of choice. Okay, so sometimes the cheese does kind of bubble out of here, but you know, like I said, you don't want to cook them on high. You want to make sure that you are washing your hands very well when you're working with raw meat, especially chicken. And handling as little as possible, washing in between. That's something we've been doing, is washing in between. And notice we're not setting these on the counter. Oh, it's one of those things where you want to prep everything ahead of time, have everything ready as you're working with these, because it makes it so much easier. This is parchment lined, so it's just it just makes your life easier. It might be a lot of cleanup in the end, but you'll be happy you did it. That's how easy and simple this is, guys. Not a big deal at all, so.
They're well worth making. I think you'll enjoy them.
And that's the last of them, right there. Look how good those look. Now it's time to grill.
All the small ones I can get. Don't take me a minute. Oh. These are spare ribs that I've had marinating in the refrigerator, and we're going to cook these as well with the chicken poppers. These are marinated in some seasonings. I put a couple different kinds on that we prefer. If you notice behind our grill, we have 2 cord of wood. We'll have another load come here probably in another couple of weeks, but that's what we burn in the winter. It's around 4 cord of wood or a little less. But it's here. A little more expensive this year, of course, with fuel prices and all, but we love our wood stove. Keeps us cozy and warm in the winter time. Also, this is maple hardwood that we burn, which is plentiful up in this area. There's little work to this wood burning, but I'll tell you it's worth it in the wintertime to have your house nice and warm. But her and I usually throw it in and pile it, which is good exercise for us also.
Nobody said living on a homestead was easy. It's always a lot of hard work, but it always pays off.
I forgot to mention our grill here. This is a Pit Boss grill. I got this for Father's Day about 5 years ago, and it's still going strong. We really haven't had any trouble with it. This is one of the best grills that we've ever owned. You can smoke on it or grill, either one. It's good and rugged and sturdy. Like I said, it's the best grill we've ever had. It also gives awful good flavor. The pellets, you can put different types of pellets in it, hickory, maple. There's a lot of others, but we prefer the fruit ourselves. Turning these so they'll cook evenly all the way around.
You always want to make sure your chicken is well done. And you want to make sure you keep your eye on this because the bacon fat on the outside tends to catch fire every once in a while. So you always want to make sure that you're keeping a really close eye on that. While the meat is cooking on the grill, I'm going to take this opportunity to quickly get some cauliflower chopped up
and put it in a steamer to make mashed cauliflower. I love this in place of potatoes. I have never been a big potato fan. Sweet potatoes I love. Regular potatoes, not so much. Joe loves potatoes, peas, and cream. Peas are my least favorite vegetable in the garden, so I won't partake in that dish, but he will love it and enjoy it. Me, I'll enjoy the cauliflower.
These are new peas that we bought at our local farm stand. I just put them in and they'll cook with the potatoes for a few minutes. The potatoes are actually just about done and the peas will be done about the same time, and then we'll drain these. We call these up here in northern Maine creamed peas and potatoes, and they're delicious. Everybody likes to make these this time of year when the potatoes are small. Okay, now that the peas and potatoes are cooked, I'm putting in some real butter. We prefer real butter, but you can use margarine or whatever your choice. For a size of pot like this, I usually put about 3/4 of a stick in. I know that's a lot of butter, but this is a 5-quart dish here, and I know this is a fattening dish, but you only eat it a couple times a year, so I hope it doesn't hurt you too bad. I'm now adding in 1 quart of heavy whipping cream. And I'm adding some whole milk. Just enough to pretty well cover your potatoes and peas. I forgot to mention our cream comes from a little dairy in Holton, Maine here called Holton Farms Dairy. They have the best butter and whipped cream, milk, whatever, and they have ice cream stands out also. I'm putting fresh cracked pepper in here. I'm also adding some sea salt. And lastly, this might sound crazy, but I've always, since I've been making this for quite some time, I always like to put a little sugar in to sweeten it up. Sweet creamed. It's not overly sweet, but a little bit of sugar is really good in them, I think. I'm thinking around 2 or 3 tablespoons probably would do the trick, but you need to taste and do whatever you like. Now we put these on the stove just on simmer and let them warm up. Everything warmed up again. Oh, this stuff's looking good.
One of the best homemaking tips that I could give to you is to use all those little tiny gaps of time to get things done. The meat is on the grill, it's cooking. The cauliflower is on low. The peas and cream and potatoes are just warming up on the stove. So while all of that is taking place, there is a waiting period. I have clothes that need to come off the line, and Joe is going to help me do that. I had steps that needed to be swept. I cleaned the front door. All of these things that need to be done can get done by using all of these waiting periods of time that you have throughout the day, just to get all of this stuff done. I mean, that is the best tip that I can give you, because we all have 24 hours in a day, right? It's just a matter of how we use that 24 hours. That's the difference between everyone. It's how we use that time. So just use that time wisely. Time is precious to all of us. Just don't get so busy that you forget to take the time for each other. Time with each other is just as important as time doing the things that need to be done. So don't forget that.
These are looking good. They're pretty well done. We've got one or two that the bacon's not quite browned up on. Not much longer though. They'll be all set.
We're going to sample. If you guys make these, you will know you do sample. You always sample.
They're delicious. They're great. You get to try them.
While Joe is busy getting the meat off the grill, I am going to mash up the cauliflower and add a little butter to that. This is real butter. You can add margarine if you like, or you can completely omit it altogether. I like just a little bit of butter in mine. I also like some fresh cracked pepper and a little bit of salt, same as you would do your potatoes. Just get that stirred up, and this is going to be delicious.
Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this food you set before us. Please bless this food and the hands that have prepared it. We thank you for the many blessings, and we thank you especially for this great day you've given us. We pray that you please bless all those most in need of your mercy. We pray this in your sweet name, dear Lord Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
It's gonna be good.
This is my first bowl of new peas and potatoes and cream of the year. Very good. There's still plenty of cream cheese in here. This one held together well. And boys, are they tasty.
I'm not sure what my favorite part is. These are really good, and miraculously, they're really not that hot. I'm quite picky, so it tastes really good. And I'll tell you, I love the mashed cauliflower. I would almost say that that's my favorite part. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.
Cheers.
This is delicious.